talking about those expressions of things being on you before, but because that one's a little bit hard to translate into English anyway, because bishach means sort of improvement from sickness or something. So it's kind of, I don't know if there's a word for that in English exactly, but it's something that can come upon you just like a sickness can. So let's see, Michael, do you want to take A and we'll have Bob take B?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Quadrip 2 and A. The éirí a chalk éirí.
We may chin, we slide on Arab.
Oh, Donna Golor. Ta slide on a chalk ormsa freshen.
Mashita bishak at chat Aramanish, Puyakas Lidia.
Okay, come on. I think you may have heard Bob saying musha there instead of well. Well, it's sort of like a modern way, but musha is an old, an Irish way of saying it.
Well, it's English, I'm a purist.
Yeah, I know. He's a purist about that. I think technically I use musha in one of these conversations later on as well, so you'll hear it again.
It's the same?
Yeah, basically it's just it's an interjection, just something you say like, oh well, or oh gee, or something like that in English. It's not a word that really has a definite meaning. It's just.
They use it in the what is this, college?
Yeah, they use it in there a lot. So yeah, that's where I first heard it as well. So musha, and I'll spell it for you right now real quick, even though, like I said, you'll probably see it later. Don't ask how you get musha out of this, but musha. And it just sort of means well, or gee, or golly, or something like that. Like I said, it doesn't really have a meaning you could probably find in a dictionary. It's just an interjection, something you throw into your sentence. Okay, well, I guess kind of like well. Well doesn't mean anything in there either. So let's see, who is next? We had Dahi here, right? Why don't you take A and do you want to take B?
Korev tuinje. Vi éirí ag teachtóirí.
Vi machine, vi slide on orm.
Oh, Donna Golor. Ta slide on ag teachtóirim sa freshen.
Well, ta bishach ag shocked orm and ish weakest legia.
Okay, come on. Let's see. Kevin, do you want to take the A part and we could have Brian take the B part?
Quadrip 2 and A. The éirí ag chalk éirí.
Vi may chin, vi slide on autumn.
Oh, Donna Golor. Ta slide on ag chalk éirí sa freshen.
Well, ta bishach ag chalk autumn anish, buikas legia.
Okay, come on. And there was one person, Mary was, I missed you, right?
Right.
Okay, which part do you want to be, A or B?
Doesn't make any difference.
Okay, well, why don't you start then?
Korev tuinje. Vi éirí ag teachtóirí.
Oh, vi may chin, vi slide on autumn.
Don't get Golor. Ta slide on ag teachtóirim sa freshen.
Well, tá bishach ag teacht autumn anish, buichas legia. Okay, come on. Are there any questions about this expression, either of these expressions? The way to say it is getting with a regular simple adjective, tasha egairi for tasha egairi jenach, etc., as opposed to those conditions that are said to be on somebody, like hunger or thirst or anger or something, and in those expressions it's coming upon them. Are there any other questions about how this works, or? Okay, because if not, I think we might be about ready for a break, and then we'll come back in about 10 minutes. And oh, you have a question?
I don't mean to hold up anybody. I just ask. Back on the page where you did a shock forum, I just was wondering about urhi and orhu. When you're saying them fast, do you tend to drop the H?
Yeah,
Put it real fast.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe just
a lot of times I've actually heard the one for on her, urhi. I'm trying to say urhi to make a distinction between urhi on her and oru on them. But a lot of times when people are saying it fast, you'll hear people say on her instead of as urhi, the way I'm saying it, you'll hear them say ura.
Yeah.
And you don't really hear any H sound. And then you hear ora for on them. And it's sometimes difficult to distinguish when somebody's saying urhi and orhu, because they'll just be saying ura and ora. And it's a very subtle distinction. That's one of those things when you start to get your ears in sync and you're able to start hearing the words and picking them out, you'll notice those little subtleties. But it's good when you start to notice them because that means you're actually starting to hear it, which in the early stages, a lot of times it's kind of hard to pick up on that because it's such a subtle distinction. That's why I'm trying to pronounce them a little bit clearly. You may not hear people pronounce it as clearly as that when you're actually listening to people talk. But
On him is or.
on him?
Yeah.
On him is air.
Oh, air.
Right, that A-I-R, air. Yeah, I should probably, maybe before I go, since I think I had a chart of these on the previous handout, but I didn't have them tonight. So here's air, which means on. So to say on me, you say autumn. On you is ort. On him is air. On her is éirí. On us is orin. And again, that's kind of a long ng sound. Orin. It's some of these you kind of, it's similar to an ng sound in English, but you don't quite go as far as the g. It's just like orin. But if you want to, if it's easier for you to pronounce it like oring, that's fine too. I don't think anybody would really notice the difference. So on you talking to more than one person, plural you have orev. And on them is oru. Okay. Let me put it in English for you as well. So this is on me. Oops. That's not really clear. So it says, so autumn is on me, ort is on you, air is on him, éirí is on her, oring on us, orev on yous, I'll put yous just for anybody who finds that tricky, and oru is on them, oru. So sorry about that. I had these on a previous handout, but I didn't include a little chart of those with these. So these are the prepositional pronouns for air, meaning on. So I'll go through them quickly because with these, you kind of just sort of have to memorize them because there's certain patterns, but it's never the same with different prepositions. So it's easy to just sort of memorize it as a rhyme. Autumn, ort, air, éirí, orin, orev, orum. That's the way I remember it anyway. So I'll go through that again. Autumn, ort, air, éirí, orin, orev, orum. Okay, one more time. I'll go through it a little more slowly. Autumn, ort, air, éirí, orin, orev, orum. Okay, does everybody follow that? Okay. Were there any other questions then before we take our break? Or okay, so we'll take about a 10-minute break, and then when we come back, we'll get on to some different material. Okay.